possible right now, immediately, for businesses to make profits by going green? Or is it going to take, as it often does when you make changes like this, a certain amount of time before that kicks in, or a certain amount of help from the government in the form of credits or write-offs? Or, I mean, when you reference, for example, a lot of American businesses going overseas, they're going overseas because it's cheaper.
Yeah.
It's all for them about the bottom line. They're not thinking, oh, I want to save the environment for my kids. Right. You know, a lot of people aren't, though. I mean, I don't want to vilify just American industry.
What we don't have right now, Elizabeth, is the luxury of time. Okay? We just lost a part of the ice shelf 2 days ago.
7 times the size of Manhattan.
7 times the size of Manhattan. The ice cap on Kilimanjaro is disappearing. Every hurricane season, we're concerned because of the warm waters of the Gulf of Mexico that we're going to get another Katrina at any time. And it probably will happen while the levees have not been rebuilt properly. Ninth Ward is still 12 feet below sea level. We're going to see another Katrina soon. I hope not, but probably will happen. The Gulf is warm. So we don't have the luxury of time. It's going to require us to invest now and reap the benefit now. You know, we can't be afraid to invest into alternative energy because we said, well, it costs too much money to produce ethanol based on the amount of energy we get out of it. Heck, I can remember when cell phones were the size of a shoebox and cost $2,000. Now you can put them in your pocket and you can practically get them for free. That's the type of investment it's going to require in this new energy movement to make energy more affordable to companies to produce, and more affordable so that even the poor can afford clean energy, reduce their energy bills, and make life and their quality of life better.
One interesting place where we're starting to see some really immediate impacts is in the area of like ecotourism. And they've done, and we tend to focus on the US. We tend to ignore small countries, small islands. But in many of the small islands in the Caribbean, they've done something as simple as just changing the light bulbs in all the major hotel chains. And each hotel chain could see a 20% reduction by simply changing out every light bulb to a long-lasting light bulb. So the bottom line was immediate. In countries like those where the sun shines all the time, you get very few cloudy days, very few rain days, they're realizing that if you put in solar panels, you can immediately see that impact. And the investment is, you get that return on investment virtually overnight for things like that. So there's some really interesting stuff on energy that's going on in the tourism travel business, but also within the ecotourism business in many of these very small countries that never show up on anybody's radar screen, that's showing how some of this can be done on a micro scale. And what we need to do is learn from some of those and ramp it up and get those into larger areas. But if you're in Hyatt's, if you're in some of the big hotel chains in the Caribbean, they've already gone heavily into looking at how some of these investments can pay off for them. Things like simply just how frequently you wash the linen. And many of us are here at the conference, and you know, we have a choice as to how frequently our linen get washed.
And more hotels are offering that, which is a great thing, because it's ridiculous to wash a towel
change
after,
your sheet every night.
You know, yeah.
Who does that at home?
Nobody.
Nobody.
I don't think.
Or nobody would want to own up to changing their sheets every night.
But the big picture, you talk about what we ought to be doing now, and there's so many satellite benefits to going green. At Apollo, we are really promoting the green idea because, one, with investment in research and development of alternative energy, of course we're going to create new jobs. But we're going to get off the oil barrel that we're being held over by foreign governments. 1/3 of our domestic oil supply comes out of the Gulf of Mexico. And when Katrina hit the Gulf, it shut down, and you saw the result at your gas pump. Imagine if on that same day that Hugo Chavez in Venezuela would have closed the valve. Imagine if on that same day, the countries in which we're losing troops on a daily basis, protecting those oil fields, would have closed the valve. America would have been brought to its knees. We've got to declare our energy independence and bring those energy opportunities, jobs, stimulate the economy, and at the same time, through that R&D of alternatives, we can reduce the amount of carbon to the atmosphere. So it's a win-win-win. Energy independence, good jobs, clean environment.